Good afternoon everybody, Dave Cottam here. So today, welcome to Making the Shift Live, and what we're going to be talking about is really making the change today. Okay, something that's so important with regards to the decisions that we make to improve our lives, for the habits that we need to make in order to build towards our dreams, and to really start to bring things into our life that we keep talking about, our hopes, our dreams, our goals. What's so important is to make that decision, to make the change today. All too commonly, procrastination is what leads us in these situations, and we never get started, or we do get started and then quite quickly we're taking off the wrong path, and we fall away from our dreams, we fall away from the activities that we're looking to take us towards what we want to achieve. Okay, so today what I want to be looking at is making the change today, making that decision today to start building the habits that will create the new you. There's a fantastic quote that I love: life is about choice, not change. Life is about choice, not chance. Okay, so this is massive to me, because all too commonly I think what a lot of us do is people leave their lives to chance. No, don't make the choice to set priorities for where they want their life to go. By leaving it to chance, what I mean is that it's like, if you're going to go to the gym, people do it when it's convenient. It isn't something that's absolutely locked into your calendar that come what may, you're going to the gym. Yes, a lot of people, they do have that self-discipline. But for most people, it's that way that it's, oh, well, if they feel okay on the way home from work, then they'll go to the gym. If they manage to get up in the morning and their alarm clock's gone off and they're feeling good, maybe they'll go to the gym. But for most people, that self-control just isn't something that we have. So it's so important to make that choice to ensure that whatever it is you want in your life, that raises up in your priorities, so that absolutely no matter what happens, you're going to start to take those steps forward daily. And this isn't about revolutionizing your life in a day. This is working on the theory of compounding interest. Now, you may or may not know the theory of compounding interest, but basically, if you've got your money in a bank and you're earning, a couple of percent interest, when you have £1 and you earn a couple of percent interest, you have $1, you earn a couple of percent interest, you've then got $1.04. The next year, when you get some more interest on top of that, you've got a little bit more. And yes, it doesn't really seem like it's making a lot of progress, but it's building. Your money is building. It keep doing that, and you keep investing a little bit as you go along. Over the course of 10, 20 years, that money could build itself into an enormous amount of money. And that's all with the power of compounding interest, where you get a little bit, and then the next time you get some interest, you get interest on top of the interest you've already earned. And this is how, one, good habits are formed, but two, this is how you get success in your life. It isn't the big bang of something happening overnight. It's weeks, months, years, sometimes a lifetime of good habits. I saw a great thing from Lionel Messi, who is regarded the best footballer in the world, the other day, and it was a meme that said it took him 17 years and 5 months and whatever to become an overnight success. And it was the case that around the world, probably a lot of people didn't know who Messi was. And then all of a sudden, bang, everybody's talking about him. Same with people like Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, exploded onto the scene. Everyone was like, where's this guy come from? An overnight success. But then you see all the videos popping up of him on YouTube when he was a kid out busking in the streets. Justin Bieber, same thing, exploded out of nowhere. But what had he been doing? Building a lot of YouTube videos. It's so really important to look and go, the success in life comes from really good habits. Ensuring that day to day, every single day, you're moving towards your goals by taking activity that will get you there. Okay, so guys, if this is you, if you feel like you're one of these people that you're trying to move forward, but at the moment you haven't quite got those habits in place, if you're one of those people who you have a good week, you have a bad week, you have a good week, you maybe fall off for a month and then it's a struggle to get back on. Just like, say me, just say it's a struggle, comment in the box, it's a struggle, let me know that you're watching. And it's really important to start to see how many people in this actually, are struggling with this very thing. Keisha just says there £1. Yeah, I have the old English slips back into me sometimes. Unfortunately, it just kind of comes through. Okay, so yeah, life's about choice, not change. Okay, the really great quote from the Dalai Lama as well. He says that happiness is not something that's ready made. It comes from your own actions. Okay, this is something that's big. Again, to lead on from that. The actions that we take every single day is what it is that takes us towards our goals, towards our dreams. Commonly, again, you've got one side which is the success that you're looking for in life. Another that's really important is our happiness. At the end of the day, that we've only got one goal, as far as I'm concerned, one purpose as a human being, and that's to actually make sure that you're happy. And quite commonly, what a lot of us are doing, we're looking for those external factors that we think will make us happy. And the things that normally make us happy, relationships, the people around us, ensuring that we're spending quality time with our families. But all too commonly what we're doing is we're chasing money. Or personal growth. So many people that don't really have anything that they're working towards in their life. But having some form of an objective for your life, if it isn't financial, you could be like looking to run a marathon. You may be somebody who's doing renos at home. You may be somebody who loves your garden. You may be someone who's trying to learn an instrument, whatever it be. One of my friends the other day said she's teaching herself to play the guitar, and she's not taking guitar lessons. She's looked at some YouTube videos and she's listening to a song, and she's literally just learning it by watching how someone's showing you how to play that song on YouTube. Just one song, she's proper happy with it, but that's a really big thing for her, and it's something that's given her an enormous amount of joy. But how is she doing that? By practicing, 10-20 minutes every single day. So really important to find those things that will make you happy, to find those things that will take you towards your dream. But the key thing is to start to build those habits that will allow you to move from somebody who is leaving it to chance, hoping that the time will come for you, hoping that the time will be right, to move towards someone who's making the choice to take control of your life and be in the driving seat and bring your dreams to life. Now again, the people that are on here at the moment, how many of you have been in that situation where you're waiting for the time to be right? You go, when the end of this month comes and I've got this project out of the way at work, or when I've paid for this holiday and then I'll get going, or I've got this thing, I've got this wedding, I'm going to a wedding and I'll start my health kick after this wedding that I'm going to, whatever it be. How many of you have been in that situation where you're waiting for the time to be right? But the funny thing is, in my experience with all the clients that we work with and the people who are looking at working with us as a training organisation, the timing is never right. For the people who wait, the one thing they're waiting for leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. The timing is never right. The past is history, the future's a mystery, and the only thing we have is today. And all too commonly, I find that the people who wait, there's always another reason. Who's one of those people that's watching at the moment who there's always something, or that you've been wanting to do something with your life, but you're having to wait. I've got to wait until this happens. Who on the line, or who on the call are those people? Because it's interesting to see that, because like I say, it does tend to be something that there's always another reason. And the more we allow life to get in the way, the more stuff it will dish to us. The more we clear life out of the way and go, look, whatever it is that I want to do, I'm going to make sure it happens no matter what. Because the funny thing is, people who are successful, people who have got control of their life, people who are winning at life, they don't seem to have those problems. And I can say from my experience that the same kind of people, they have problems again and again and again. Why does this happen to me? Oh, this always happens to me. I've always got a problem. And I think the reason be that some people want problems because it stops them having to do the uncomfortable thing of like either A, enjoying life, or B, moving forward with the things that would improve their life, because change is hard. Change is really hard, and it's often pretty uncomfortable. To look and go, you can stay exactly where you are and be comfortable. And life isn't too bad. There's something over there that'd be really good. I'd love to change my life. I'd love to earn a bit more. I'd love to be a bit skinnier. I'd love to be a bit fitter. I'd love to be a bit better at something. But there's a lot of work, and where I am at the moment, it's not that great, but it's comfortable. And stepping out and taking the action, getting up in the morning, and going running and going to the gym before work, getting up and doing exercise before the kids get up. Really common thing that people say, I can't do that because of the kids. I can't go to the gym before work because of the kids. I can't go after work because of the kids. And what I really try and get people to look at is go, well, what if you get up before the kids get up? What if you get up at 5 a.m? Get up at 5 a.m, go to the gym, go out for a run, whatever it be, come home, the kids aren't even up yet. That might be something that would be radically different to most people's lives, but at the end of the day, that's putting your desires and your goals first. What would it mean going to bed early? If you're going to get up at 5 in the morning, you've got to be in bed at 10 or 9. So it's like you're just going to bed earlier, and the likelihood is most people are sat watching TV anyway. So something that's really interesting to me that is taking control of your life and really making sure that no matter what you do, you're putting yourself first. Okay, so what's everyone got? Get me some comments on there, guys. If you're on here, please do flick me a like, flick me a heart. Say hello, Dave. It's really easy. Just say hi, Dave. If anybody you think needs to see this, comment, tag them in it. If you watch these regularly, please do give me a share. Let me know, because it really does help me to know who's watching when you at least just give it a little comment. Who's on here at the moment? Hey, Rodney. Hey, Fiona. Hey, Keisha. I think Lisa's on here. Hey, Kim. How are you going? Yeah, really good to have some of those people on there. Okay, so to come back to this, there's a great thing called the Pareto principle. You may or may not have heard it. Okay, some people call it the 80-20 rule. It's called the Pareto principle. So that says is that life is about 80% preparation and 20% implementation. Okay, life's 80% preparation and 20% implementation. And the way this works to our lives is setting up the environment around us to ensure that you've got the greatest chance of success. It wheels back to the life's about choice, not about chance. What we commonly don't do is set ourselves up properly to ensure that we've got the best possible chance of success. Because let's be honest, and for all of us, and me included, if things aren't easy enough, it's too easy to just go, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll do it tomorrow becomes, I'll start next week, and then I'll start next month. It's really important to set up our environment to make sure we're successful. It's like if you don't go out and do the shopping over the weekend and then do your food prep on a Sunday, like there it is, you're going for freezer meals, the pizzas come out, or the oven food comes out, or whatever it be, you're buying lunch at work as opposed to having something that's healthy, that's costing you less because you've made it. All these things come down to preparation. And talking more, say, with our kids and our families, something that comes up all the time is kids and family commitments and how much time all of this stuff takes. Now, obviously for us, I work quite a lot in the space of helping people with their businesses. And all too commonly, again, it works the same with gym, it works the same with if you're looking at family time and making time for your relationships. All too commonly, we're not commanding our own calendars. So really important, if you don't have all of your week booked into a calendar, that's something that I really do highly recommend to everybody, to book into your calendar. And the important things here is making a date with yourself. Make a date with your dreams. Whatever it be, if your dreams are to lose a bit of weight, to improve the house, to gain some new skills, to get a better job, to learn something, to improve your relationship with your partner. You know, whatever it be, obviously working on your business is our key kind of area, but making a date in your diary that you 100% protect and ensure that all of your family understand that. You know, that's protected, that you go, you know, I'm working at this time and it's really important that I don't be disturbed, or I'm going to the gym at this time and it's really important because, you know, if you were to play a sport and you've got training on a certain night, everybody knows that's the night you go training. But if you're not somebody who plays a sport and you can go to the gym anytime, it's really easy for that booking, that time to just go by the wayside because it isn't locked in. So really important to make sure that you make those dates for yourself and a commitment. You know, because likewise, again, if you've not got a commitment to yourself, you know, most people will allow it to just slip by. You know, so whether it be fitness, whether it be work, whatever it be, so important to take control by making a date with your dreams and booking everything in the calendar and making sure that that's protected. You know, same for family time. You know, if you've got date night, you know, get it booked in the calendar to make sure that you remember. If you've got time that you want to go out and be with your kids, you know, all too commonly, you know, I think a lot of people wish they'd spend more time with the kids but haven't got it booked in. You know, something that a guy said to me who's on the face of things a pretty successful dad. He's got 3 daughters and they seem to have a really happy life. He said to me when Eve was not born yet but nearly, he said, no matter what you do, ensure that you book in one-on-one time with your daughter. No matter what happens, you know, always ensure that you book in time with your daughter. And he said, when you've got multiple children, ensure that you book in specific time with each of them, because each of them is a different person, and you're going to have a different relationship with all of them. You know, and that's something that will stay with me for all of my life, to ensure that I'm booking in a time to specifically go and be one-on-one with Eve. And when my son's born next, you know, it will be a boy. I'm going to produce a boy. I'm cosmic ordering it. You know, we'll go out and do boy things. You know, and obviously when it's with Eve, I'm going to end up with my nails painted and doing tea parties and all that kind of stuff. Unless she's like my niece and loves Spider-Man and football, and then I'll do that stuff with her. So, you know, whatever it be, but that's going to be something for me, you know, and that just goes for anything that you do to really put that time in to make sure that you're making a date with yourself. You know, I think the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit tonight is what it is that stops us actually from moving forward, because physically there's nothing to stop anybody from taking action. And the majority of things that people want for their lives aren't physically impossible, not financially impossible. You know, it literally just comes down to a simple, repeatable set of actions that you could take every single day in order to ensure that you're successful. And say, for instance, like losing weight. Right, this is a really common one, losing weight. How people say that they struggle. But over the course of a number of years, if someone had a calorie deficit of 100 or 200 calories a day for a couple of years, you lose kilos and kilos and kilos. You know, but yet it's that small thing of, oh well, if I'm not doing this enormous big task of being on a fixed diet or a detox or someone's new fad health plan, like people just don't stick to it. Whereas the pretty simple thing of going, well, I'll just for the rest of my life be pretty well moderated about what I put in my mouth and just eat a little bit less every single day. I'll just walk 5 minutes a day. I'll walk 2 extra bus stops. I'll go out and I'll run to work. I'll get up in the morning and I'll go for a half an hour cycle, whatever it be. You know, quite commonly, it's simple activities that are holding us back. You know, and there's a great quote by Walt Disney: all of your dreams would come true if you just had the courage to pursue them. You know, all of your dreams would come true if you just had the courage to pursue them. You know, and for a lot of us, not taking action on those habits comes down to fear. And usually there's two types of failure, fear of failure and fear of success. Now the two of them, it sounds a little bit strange, fear of success, but it's amazing how many people have the fear of being successful and then losing it. So it really is a case of they're both fear of failure, but that fear of success is like, what if I achieve it and then I fall flat on my face and I look stupid? So both of them really, it comes down to fear of failure. And there's another great quote, your own validation is the only validation you need, and commonly it's the hardest to attain. I think a lot of us spend way too much time thinking about what other people think of us. Right now, I want to think about what it is that you're looking to achieve in your life. What it is that is your major goal, that when you close your eyes, that you can see and you know what you want, you can feel it in the pit of your stomach. And then ask yourself, what is it that's stopping me being absolutely 100% committed right now, that I would say to the world, I would declare to the world, I'm going to make this happen, come what may. Make that declaration. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna run a marathon. I've booked in and I'm gonna do a photo shoot. Whatever my best is as my best body photo shoot, I'm gonna do that in 6 months, or I'm gonna do that in 12 weeks. I'm 100% committing to my business. And telling everybody I'm building a business and this is going to happen, and I'm 100% committing to it. And set yourself some goals. I'm going to achieve $1,000 a month income, or I'm going to achieve $5,000 a month income, whatever it be. And no matter what happens, I'm going to make sure that happens, because I'm pretty sure most people, that even when people say that they're committed, it's always like, not quite. I'm committed as much as it's safe. I'm committed as much as it's kind of okay. I've got this little safety net. I can always kind of run away and hide if I want to. If times get tough, I can always just kind of back out. If things get a little bit hard, I say I'm on a bit of a health kick, but I don't really want to say to my mates that I'm not drinking, because then I seem boring. Then they might tease me. Whatever it be. What is it that's holding you back? And be good, guys. Interesting. For the people that are on at the moment, just comment in the comments. What is it that's holding you back at the moment? Or if you don't want to share what it is that's holding you back, just say, yeah, that's me. I'm being held back. And it'll be really interesting to see that, because quite commonly the thing that's holding us back is the opinions of others. Because for most people, in most instances, all the cost, all the risk is to whatever it is that you want to achieve is a bit of time and a bit of money. For instance, I can speak totally from experience here, because I went all chips in. My business, I went all chips in on it. I've been 18 months in. I was close enough that I could see I was going to earn a full-time income, and that's it. I quit my job. I was earning 160k a year as a contractor, and I was just like, I'm out. I'm pursuing my dreams. I'm going to make this happen, come what may. I'm in. I'm committed. I'm doing this, and that was it. I quit. I wasn't quite earning as much as I wanted to at that point, but I just went, this is it. I'm doing it, and I went all chips in. Now, I wouldn't necessarily advise that to the majority of people, because I've got a high level of tolerance and resilience, far higher than the average person. I'd say that's like one of my strengths. But realistically, there's nothing to stop anybody committing to the point of going, do you know what? I'm going to spend every single waking moment learning skills. I'm gonna be listening to podcasts on the bus. I'm gonna be listening to podcasts when I'm walking around the house. I'm gonna be reading books every second that I can. I'm gonna get up at 4 a.m. and do trainings. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna work on my business. I'm gonna build my dreams. I'm gonna step outside of my comfort zone. I've got one of my favourite quotes, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Now I've got this cup. I don't know if it'll be the right way around or not the right way around, but this is my mug that I drink from. And it says, that one, if you can dream it, you can do it. It's by Walt Disney. This quote, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. That's by Neil Donald Walsh. And this one is never, never, never give up. And that's by Winston Churchill. And those three are, my quotes that I live by. Because I truly believe that anything that you want, if you just step away from and give up the fear, give up and stop worrying about what other people think, and literally rationalize to yourself, what is the worst that can happen? What's the absolute worst that can happen? I mean, for me, I could have been bankrupt, but I might not have made enough money. But realistically, what's the worst that could happen? I'd go back and get another job. I got no fear about that. If things didn't work, I'd have just gone back and worked. But absolutely determined to make it work. So for yourself, I mean, Rodney's there said lack of money. But even with Rodney there, Rodney works with us. He has next to no money to pursue his business, but he is absolutely working his ass off to do everything that he can based on zero budget. And that's it. He's all chips in. Keisha there, lack of courage, money, time, energy. And you look and go, for someone like Keisha there, that'd be an interesting conversation for us to have, Keisha, to figure out some of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these things that they come down and to call it out as me as a coach, most stuff are excuses because, there's always something that you can do. If money's an issue, there's loads of stuff that people can do for free. If it's fitness, there's these great things called roads, and you go and you run on them. You do press-ups, you do dips, you do whatever. Time, there's always time that can be made, because I can imagine if I got you to write down every single thing that anybody did on a day-to-day basis, I can pretty confidently say I could definitely find an hour a day in anybody's life, to pursue fitness or a business. Because when I first started my business, it was like I was sending text messages on the toilet. I was sending text messages and making phone calls when I was walking. I was listening to podcasts. I was making calls in the car. On my breaks, I went out and I made calls. At lunchtime, I did stuff. I didn't eat with people. I ate at my desk and I worked. Everybody's got an hour a day that they could do something productive with. And like there, yeah, Tyler's a tough one. He said, low energy for him. Tough one when you work a lot. The only thing I'd say in those instances, like you've got to find it. Energy's a really tough one. But I look and I go, for me, it's a state of mind. When I played for England, I worked a full week. I had to drive an hour and a half to work and back every single day. I started work at 7:30 in the morning, so I was up at 5 o'clock or whatever it was to get ready, get to work, and then from work I drove straight to training and trained after a full day's work, and we did that every single day of the week. On a Saturday and a Sunday, I did 6 or 7 hours of training on a Saturday and a Sunday. And that was my week. I basically worked and trained. And when I first met Danielle, basically our relationship when we first got together was a couple of nights a week. I'd finish training, go round to hers. She'd have made dinner. We'd kind of eat dinner and pretty much go to bed. And that was it. and there wasn't really much outside of that. Yeah, and that was my entire life. And obviously you look and go, at that point, I didn't want to do anything half the time, but you just had to. You get up, you train, you got to lacrosse, end of a day, didn't want to do anything, but you just had to. And the same with the business. From the business point of view, I've put however many years of solid work in, and it just has to be done. That's my thoughts around this kind of stuff. To anybody, this isn't speaking specifically to Tyler, is to anybody. Like, it just has to be a non-negotiable. And our lives, if you want to break free from the norm, we've got to do something that's totally outside of what everybody else does. And your hopes and dreams have to be a non-negotiable, that no matter what happens, that will always come first. Do I eat or do I do work? I'll do the work. Do I go to this? Do I go to that family function, or do I do work? If you first start up your business, you swerve the family function and you do the work. I've missed so much stuff for a couple of years, but what's it done? Given the life, the kind of life that a lot of people dream of. But I've missed a lot for a couple of years, but will it be worth it for the next, 50, 60 years of my life? I believe so. So it is just a case of whatever happens, got to put that as a priority. And that's the question to ask yourself, probably on this. Is a really good point. Do you look at whatever it is you're wanting to achieve, and are you of the mindset that this is absolutely the top priority of your life? Obviously, you've got your kids, you've got all that kind of stuff that's non-negotiables, but on your next level of choices that you've got, is it the very top, so that everything else in your life, you can look at it and go like, I can make a choice about this, and I choose to put this first. And I challenge anybody, even at this point, ad hoc, I'll set this as a challenge to anyone for this week. Start to write down every single thing that you do in a diary, on a piece of paper, every action you take, every minute you have. Put all your times down, write every single thing down that you do. And then at the end of the week, look at all of them and ask yourself the question about what are a non-negotiable, what they absolutely have to do. You've got to feed the kids, you've got to put the kids to bed, you've got to take the kids to school, all this stuff that are non-negotiables. And for everything else, how much of it are things that in reality, for a couple of weeks or a couple of months or even forever, you could just go, actually, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to do 20 squats. I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to read a blog. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to do a Facebook post. I'm going to follow some people on Instagram. Every time you look at a cat meme or respond to someone on Facebook or any of this kind of stuff, you could be doing something productive. So really important to check all that stuff. Fiona says that her business is the best biz for energy. She's sat in a lounge exhausted, but she absolutely loves her business because she doesn't have to do very much because she can do it when she's tired. Yeah, which is pretty awesome. That's the power of having an online business. As you all know, that's what I do. And just to kind of wrap up, guys, I'm pretty much done for this today, but something that's pretty important and something that I come back all the time. If you don't change your direction, you might end up where you're headed. This is a really a powerful statement for me. If you don't change your direction, you might end up where you're headed. What I think is really important is for all of us to check where it is that we're heading. Look at where you are currently and see where you're headed. Look at the people around you and see where they are in life. Look at your boss or look at your family and look at the people around you and figure out, well, what's the destination that I'm going in? And is that where I want to be? In 10, 20 years' time, is this where I want to be? If I continue doing exactly what I'm doing now, am I going to be happy? Given where I am at this very minute, when I'm thinking about this and I know that I'm at that fork in the road, because every single second you're at a fork in the road to make a decision. Because every single moment you've got the ability to be a totally different person. You've just got to make that decision to start changing your habits. And given that we're here on this call right now, asking this question. If in 10 years' time, you're pretty much where you still are, and the only thing that stopped you getting there is your own excuses, how would you feel? You know, because if you don't change where we're going, we're going to end up where we're going. You know, really important question to ask that, and to make that decision to yourself and go, are you going to make it so that you raise whatever it is you want from life to be your top priority? You know, because there's only you that can do that. There's only you that can make that conversation with your family that mummy or daddy is going to do things differently. There's only you that can have that conversation with your partner to let them know that, you know, you're not just going to sit on the couch and watch TV at night. You're going to do something practical. You know, it's only you that can make that decision to not do all the social things that take your time away from doing whatever it is that you want. You know, for me, I made a massive amount of sacrifice in my life from my sports to my business. You know, my vision with lacrosse was I wanted to represent my country. I wanted to win gold medals, and I did. You know, my business, it's a case of having an online business so I can spend time with my family and be where I want, when I want. And that's what I've achieved. And for you, for everybody, the question is what you want from life important enough to make everything else secondary for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, forever? To make all of that secondary to what you want from life. Because it's only you that can make that decision. So guys, you know, if you've been watching this, please do say hello. Please do say goodbye. If you're watching the replay, please just do type replay in. You know, because obviously you type like this, replay. You know, if someone needs to see this, tag them in it. If you watch these regularly, hit your screen, hit share. Do share this on your wall. I'd really appreciate that. Hey Flo, it looks like you've jumped on quite late, so maybe go back and watch again. But as always, guys, you know, it's been a pleasure having you on here. We are here every week, so, you know, thank you for coming and watching this. I know there's a million other things you could be doing at this time of night. So have a fantastic day. Do chase your dreams. Start to change those habits every single day. And, you know, make today the first day of the rest of your life. That's all for me today, guys. Bye for now.